Eco Atlantic's a Toronto and London AIM-listed Atlantic margin-focused oil and gas exploration company. There are 6 offshore license interests in Guyana, Namibia and South Africa, 3 of the world's best hydrocarbon provinces. Gil, it's been a busy year so far for Eco with parallel work streams across the portfolio. How would you sum up how the company stands today?
Good morning, Mark. It's still middle of October, so the year has not ended yet, but it was a very busy year, strategically important for us. We were mainly engaged in regulatory work, with partner engagement and portfolio optimization. We operate in 3 different jurisdictions, each with its own challenges and different above ground and subsurface elements. Unfortunately, not every milestone that we projected landed on its original timing due to various reasons. In South Africa, there's the above ground regulatory environment which sometimes postpone things. In Guyana, we had elections in September, so the work progress there was put on hold for a few months. In Namibia, we had a new president inaugurated in March, which led to some changes. But we managed to position ourselves strategically through portfolio optimization towards some very important, hopefully near-term catalyst in all 3 jurisdictions.
Eco's working in 3 frontier basins, each offering catalysts and considerable opportunities. But what is it that gives Eco the sort of competitive advantage?
Eco focused only on exploration, but with such a big and material exposure in the 3 most exciting basins around the world now. In Guyana, in Namibia, we've seen how the market evolved there in the past few years, and the large Orange Basin in South Africa. So for a small cap company working in 3 different jurisdictions, and all of them are hotspots, this is a very good base for an amazing growth. Our model is simple. We take a large stake in each and every block in New Frontier. We started in Guyana with 40%, now we have 100% of our block. In South Africa, in Block 1, we have 75% working interest and operator. We started with 26% in Block 3 before B, later farmed it down to Total and Qatar. In Namibia, we have 85% of each block that we hold. Now 3 after a farm out that we did to a Namibian operator. So I think that's what distinct us. Small cap, a lot of opportunities, a lot of upside, and 6 licenses in the best jurisdictions.
So looking at those on a case-by-case basis, so perhaps starting with Guyana, the Orange block farm out's taken a bit longer than expected. What's behind that?
In Guyana, we embarked on a lengthy process of potential farm out after we managed to buy out Tullow. At first we thought we farm out just in order for someone to come and partner with us to drill the light Cretaceous, especially given some developments that happened this year, mainly the Hammerhead sanction. Exxon decided to feed Hammerhead, and now they are busy developing this field. First oil is expected 2028. That gave a fresh look on what could be found in Guyana, because until now the 6 projects that Exxon had in Guyana were light oil Cretaceous discoveries, and all of a sudden they came up with Hammerhead and actually proved that they can develop and make economic a heavy oil discovery at the tertiary. The Hammerhead development decision took us to take a fresh look into the Jethro 1 billion barrel oil discovery that we had in 2019. Together with the government, we are in discussions to potentially reevaluate and recall non-commercialization notice that Tullow gave to the government, and to have a fresh look into a potential heavy oil development. Obviously, we'll need a partner to do that, but we also need the support and the cooperation of the government, understanding that might be a big resource there that might be developed. So the Hammerhead feed, together with the fresh understanding of how the tertiary horizon in Guyana might work, containing some heavy oil, which is needed in many places around the world, made us take a different approach to the farm out and a different approach toward the license, and hopefully we'll be able to be granted with the reevaluation right of the Jethro discovery.
Moving on to Namibia, you recently farmed out your 85% stake in block PL 98. At the time, you said this was important in terms of the company's tactical vision. Could you expand on that?
We farmed out block 98, but we managed to extend block 97, 99, and 100 with additional year that allows us the time to shoot the seismic and to process it and interpret it towards identifying drilling targets. But it's all one package. We wanted to focus our resources and management attention on the deeper water based on the recent discoveries made in the Orange Basin and the fresh understanding of how the oil plays in Namibia. Deep water is becoming of much more interest to the industry. Now, after the big discoveries made in Orange Basin, the government would like to cultivate more local participation in the oil and gas exploration and production sector. Handing over the block to indigenous entity that will be the operator is a win. So we stay on his board for the next 2 years in order to transfer the knowledge and the know-how. For us, it gets us to focus on the deep water stuff. It sheds some commitment and some expenses that were unneeded in terms of portfolio optimization. It's a win-win-win for everyone. So the area will gain much more interest and activity in 2026, and we are very well positioned to capture this opportunity.
Lastly, South Africa. There have been some concerns about the permitting processes and NGO activity. How are you navigating your work in South Africa?
The permitting process is evolving and it's transparent, and the regulatory bodies, the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of Environment, PASA, which are very much engaged. Permitting is not a problem. The problem is the legislation system or judicial system which allow NGO to try and block oil and gas activities on various grounds. With what we've seen in the past year, I think the landscape is changing. The government is getting much more involved, the regulatory bodies are getting much more involved, as well as the industry through OPASA and others. We now join forces together with the government in order to find the solutions. I always tell people there's no scenario that South Africa will not eventually explore for oil and gas. We are hoping to break through in 2026. We are ready, so the timing is obviously annoying to our shareholders, to us. We would like to see the well being drilled tomorrow morning, but it doesn't have a financial effect on us. Total, I must tell you, as an operator, they know South Africa very well. They know what needs to be done, and we will break through eventually. Once the gate is open, hopefully in 2026, you will see a spree of wells being drilled in Orange Basin, which has 3 times the potential of the Orange Basin in Namibia, where huge discoveries were made. Most of the basin lies in South Africa. For Block 1, it was granted in February this year. We became the operator and 75% working interest owner in June 2025. Block 1 is the last big open acreage in the Orange Basin, in the heart of the Orange Basin, on the border with Namibia, really close to the latest discoveries made by Rhino Resources and Azule, the Capricornus and the Volaris. It has a very big oil potential on the deeper water, and it has a lot of gas potential inboard in the shallow water. Kudu-like fields. We are talking with the biggest boys in the industry. It takes time. It's a process, but we very much focused on South Africa, and I think Orange Basin, South Africa, is the up-and-coming next Guyana in the next few years.
Gil, investors often cite eco as being undervalued. Why do you think, versus the peers, we're not seeing the valuation that you believe the company deserves at the moment?
The market is clever, meaning if they think we are undervalued, it's the right case. They don't think we are overvalued. I'm a big shareholder myself. I'm frustrated from our market cap and our share price. People are waiting for the next big well to be drilled. People are waiting for the next big farm out to happen. It didn't happen to us in 2025 due to many reasons, but we are definitely in a position now to materialize on these deals as of today and into 2026. So giving our portfolio of these 6 world-class assets in the jurisdictions that we operate, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of time when people will start to realize the real value in the company. At the moment, we are heavily undervalued, and people understand it. They're waiting for the first trigger to happen, and then you will see a flow into our share price and, of course, appreciation. Again, having 100% in a Guyana block, which is adjacent to Stabroek and actually share some reservoir with Exxon, 85% in 3 blocks in Namibia, 75% in a huge block in Orange Basin, South Africa, and a full carried interest by Total and Qatar in South Africa with a drill-ready block. We are still expecting $11.5 million coming to us from Qatar and Total upon certain milestones in Block 3B4B, a part of the deal that we made. So many things to happen. At the moment, they didn't happen, and therefore the frustration. Given our portfolio, giving our management team, and giving our lean and efficient structure, it's on the way.
So Gil, looking ahead and just wrapping up, what would be your closing message to shareholders?
We are a small cap exploration company with a world-class portfolio. 6 licenses in the best jurisdictions. Each farm out, each seismic campaign, each well we spud has the potential to completely re-rate the company. And this is what we're working towards. We are navigating complex jurisdictions, complex regulatory environment. Each and every jurisdiction has its unique challenges, but we know how to manage the risks. We know how to carefully manage our budget and our partnership process. I think the company, Echo, has navigated a very busy but a complex year with discipline, focus, and forward-looking momentum. And we positioned ourselves towards 2026 with the asset base that we have in world-class basins, and the market cap does not reflect our real value. Each and every catalyst has the potential to re-rate the company. People don't give enough credit, I would say, to our carried exposure to near-term wells, especially in South Africa and potentially in Guyana. But it's up to us to deliver. It's up to us to prove the market that the asset base that we have worth much more than our current market cap. And that's exactly what we're going to do in 2026.
Gil, you've covered a lot of ground. There's a lot to be very excited about. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mark.